Okay. Good morning, class. Now, let me actually start today's class with feedback on your class activity, which you all had done last week. Now, what happened was like when I was looking into your answers, and some of you, I'm saying some of you, not everyone. It's though the number is very less. You know what y'all gave me? Y'all gave me an assumption. Suppose it happens, if it happens, and that doesn't make any sense, right? Because I asked for real examples. Like most of you have given me the right answer. You've taken up an example and where you've said, like, you've related those 9 barriers to communication, and you just related it, like how it is, how, what was the problem in that organization with respect to that barrier, like how, why you're talking of that. So most of you have done that, but there have been a couple of you, and you all know that, where you said if suppose, or if this happens, or there have been some who have not spoken about all the 9 barriers. You've given me less. Okay, so I don't know for whatever reasons. So that's how the marking actually went on. I will be sharing with all. Definitely, you will get all the marking thing. Like, let me finish with to this week and the next week. By next week, you will get for the June's all the 3 class activity marks. It will be all given to you. So that'll be also that'll be shared with you. Okay, so this was the mistake that some of you did make, where you again you made an assumption. And some of you wrote some examples where it's actually happened, and for some of the barriers you gave an example. You gave a hypothesis, like if my friend says this, and if we go to class and that happens. So that's a hypothesis, that's not a real example, right? So that's what I wanted to let you know about where your feedback with your class activity is concerned. Now, with we coming to the next part is today's class, that is Unit 8, where we that's the last chapter that we're going to start today. So I'm going to, it's a little big class today, that's going to take a little time. So I will start my presentation. You would discuss with the topics, note down whatever questions or queries you have, after which I will talk a little on your today's class activity. So, and again, what I also have to say is, and I'll tell that a little later. Let me finish the class, and then I'll say there is an announcement also that is there for next week. Okay, so for next week's class, there is some important announcement for all of you, right? So with this, I actually go to the next part, that is the presentation of the last unit. Okay. Right. So this is where we are talking the last unit, which is practical applications of various management. So we are actually going to talk, on the the marketing management. We're talking about marketing management, the various concepts. What does it mean? The various marketing concepts that's there, and the marketing mix. So these 3 will be covered today, and SWOT analysis and STP will be done in the next class. SWOT analysis you all have already done in your last semester when you did business environment. So with this, I start with today's class, which is the first thing that we talk of marketing. The term, when the term marketing came up first, it was connected to, people would say that, oh, marketing is dealing with selling. You talk and sell things. That's what marketing is. Okay, but that was the concept. But today what has come up is marketing is not talking and selling. It deals with the customer satisfaction. So it's a much bigger concept, much improvised concept, and much better concept today, that marketing is not selling, talk and sell. It's satisfying consumer or customers' needs, which is covering a wide variety of aspects, and we're going to talk about it. What are these things? So satisfying customer needs, and different experts have given different definitions on marketing. So if you talk of marketing, if we talk of all the definitions, what different experts had to say was, so what they actually wanted to say was that when we talk of marketing is a process which every organization follows. What is that process dealing with? To create value, the products and services that you're making, to create value for customers. So create value for customers is like, it has to be a product or a service which would be of use to the customers. Not anything you manufacture, anything people are going to buy. No, what do customers want, whether it's of any use to them. What are the things? So that's what is value. Create the value, value for the customer. The customers should be willing to buy this. There has to be a need for it. So you have to know what the customers want. And if you're able to create this value, so what happens? It ultimately leads to, it can be done with the help of a strong bonding with the customers. You have to know, take customers' feedback, do a market survey to see what the customers want, what are their needs, what are their wants, what are their problems, and take their feedback and then come up. And that's how the relationship is being built. You have to reach out to your customers. If you are able to do that, what you get in return, you are able to capture value. Create value to capture value. Value means capture value here means money, revenue, goodwill, both comes up. That comes from the customers in return. If you are able to take care of your customers, you know what your customers are asking. If you build a good relation, if you do a proper market survey, you have a good one-to-one interaction with your customers, so what happens? Your goodwill will be also increasing. Customers will start trusting you. They would start relying on your products or services, what you want to give, and they would buy. And what happens? The value of your products or services will increase. How? You earn money through the word of mouth. More customers will be coming in. So what happens? Your revenue increases because there are more customers, and your goodwill increases because there are more people. So you can increase the value. So create value to capture value. That's what it means. Okay, now what happens is, when we talk of marketing, the marketing, the concept started in way back in 1850s, when we had the industrial revolution happening. And then what happened? Gradually there has been a change in the way the production is being made, the quality of production. So what happened? Like, people starting from agricultural products, then came up the manufacturing goods or the industrial goods, and then gradually came up with the service sector coming up. So, and the assumption was that people will buy any products which is reasonably priced. Okay, reasonably priced. That was the assumption, that if you charge too much, people are not going to buy, and if your products are of good quality. So price and quality, that was the assumption up there. Okay, now we talk of the next thing. The next topic that we have is some of the basic marketing concepts. The first concept is production. Now production, when we talk of production, that is the amount of goods and services that is being produced in a most efficient manner. In a most efficient manner, so that what will happen? Everyone would start buying from you, not from others. And when we talk of production, it talks of, as I said, producing goods which is of high efficiency, where the cost is less, and which can be distributed to in bulk to the huge group of customers. So what can be the benefits when you do that? Obviously you will have economies of scale. When you have studied you are studying right now economics, microeconomics, where you have studied economies of scale, where when you start manufacturing in bulk, what happens? The cost per unit starts decreasing. So that's economies of scale. Cost goes down, you're manufacturing bulk, but you're not compromising on your quality. What can be the problems or the challenges that comes up is sometimes failure to deliver the right quality products, and sometimes it also happens is the organizations fail to take into consideration the customer's needs. That can happen. You're so kind of worried about your own production, saying that then sometimes we tend to neglect the customer's needs. That can customers' expectations. That can happen. Okay, the second concept that we have is the product concept, which was first started down in 1900s till the 1930s. Okay, now product here, when we talk of it, what I just said, that consumers will be preferring products which is based on quality, which has a good performance, like which has a reputation in the market, has some innovative features, positive. This is positive reputation. Okay, so what happens? That means, how will you know that your quality, your products are good, that has unique features? It can only happen if the company is aware of its own product. The company has to be aware. Then only can you say, like, how can you say that? You say that if you have a business and you say my products are really good, high best quality, it has these new features which nobody else is having. How do you know that? How? So the question that comes up is how can you say? Because you can say this because you know your product the best than anyone else. So the company knows its products. So what does that mean? It means that the company is not only having a knowledge and skill in making the product, it also knows what is best for the customers. That's why you are able to say, I know my product is good, I know these are the innovative features, I know everything is fine. And parallelly, I also know why am I saying? Because I know the customers are going to buy this. I have, in other words, I've manufactured or manufacturing products or services keeping in mind my customers' needs, coming up with the best quality products. Okay, so now what happens as the general idea was, like that sometimes what was happening is like products were being made without consulting the customers to whether they would want, what sort of features, additional features would they want to have it in their product. So the idea was like where the organizations felt that if it's a good product, it will sell. No, that's not the thing. That is a wrong concept that we have, that if it's a good product, that it will be selling. So when the products were being made, so there were three things which were the organizations to think of. One comes up is the quality of the product. Second comes up is the review. And then there are the other thing which comes up is where we talk of the innovative features. What are the new features that has come up? Now, benefits when we talk of a product is the features of the products, and sometimes introduction of new products where customers do not have sufficient knowledge, or there is insufficient competition. So it's best you feel that this is a new project, people are going to buy. Why? One advantage, there are no cost competitors there, you're new in the market. And second, also customers are not aware of it, so if you launch, you are able to convince your customers. That is there, that idea. But basic drawback that comes up here is, like, when we say love affair with the product, love affair means sometimes we are so much we are product, so we are so much attached with the product that we fail to realize that some changes has to be brought customers may want something else, or there are some other competitors coming, you would prefer to stick with it. You would prefer to go with it. So, or we are using the same technology because the previous technology, this old technology had given us success. So we feel, oh, this is success, this is my dream project, so I can proceed with the same technology without realizing that you need to bring about some changes. Okay, the third concept that we have is selling. Okay, now selling is what? Selling is actually like a to sell the company's products. And what you have, there is the basic philosophy is like, let's have a department which is a selling department. That was the idea, that let's have a selling department, departments will take care on the production. So that was the idea. And the concept, that the basic thing was that any company can sell any product that it manufactured. That's the general idea. Why do we need to have a separate selling department? Because that's a department which will actually take care of selling it to the customers. And any product that the company manufactures, company has the capacity, has the capability to sell anything. How has it been done? Using advertising, using personal sellings. Okay, and the idea why this has come up is because the general feeling is that consumers will buy your product only when you are persuading them, when you are pressurizing them, putting pressure, when you're persuading them, when you are trying to convince them. Otherwise, they will not buy by themselves. So that was the general idea. Why to have it? Okay. So for selling is like, it's the goal of a company, not customer satisfaction. It's not taking up customer satisfaction. So that's the goal of the company. I have produced this much, I need to sell this, all of this, to generate revenue. Do the customers like it or not? Nobody knows. But through brainwashing, through persuading, through telling things, sometimes they tell stories also, companies, to just to make the products being sold. That's how it's been done. Okay. Okay. So as I said, customers will not buy by themselves if they are left alone. So, but you know what? When we talk, the idea was that marketing is all about selling. That's what the initial concept was. That when we say marketing people, oh, these are the people, the salesperson who are up there selling things. That's a misconception, wrong thing that we have. Okay, so what is marketing then? We've been talking of buying, selling, product, production. Then all these, what is it? Marketing is like, the concept started in the 1950s, and it's basically it's a process which takes care of the customer's needs and wants. It does not talk of aggressive selling, putting pressure and selling. Okay. So the concept is, the basic idea is that a market should manufacture only those products which it can sell, and not selling what it has made. So when we say it should make only those products which it can sell, that means you should be thinking about customers' wants, needs, and not just manufacturing because you know, and just because that you know you have some advantage, and you just sell it, put pressure, and then sell it and earn money. So that's not the thing. Okay. Okay. So let's see this. This is what we actually said. That selling, when we sell, so the concept of selling talks about the seller, but marketing talks from the needs of the buyers, right? So that's the basic idea. Okay. Right. So when we say marketing, the today's concept is the customer is the king. Customer is the king, so we have to understand the customer's needs, their satisfaction, and according to it manufacture goods and services which should be better than your competitors so that the customers buy from you, they are satisfied with you. Now when we talk of marketing, we have to think of the target market. Which market are you targeting? Okay, target market, it could be economy wise, it could be within an economy, different areas of the country, whichever, or within a particular area, locality also, which customers are you targeting. So you have to classify it. What do the customers want? What are their needs? Comes up, the next one is integrated marketing. Now integrated marketing means starting from the doing a market survey about the products and the services, what the customers want, what their problems are, then start planning with having a total plan of how to manufacture that goods or services, what are the materials required, from where to get, what sort of process goes on, ultimately to manufacture the final output and deliver it to the customers and take their feedback. So it's an entire process. That's what integrated marketing is. And obviously the last thing that comes up is the profit. If there's no profit, how will you actually manufacture? There's no use. Okay, so the next concept that we have today is we are talking of social marketing concepts. So when we talk of social marketing concept, this is the last marketing concept that we have. That was the last to come up. It's emerged in 1970s. So where it said, we are thinking marketing concept, marketing management is talking about consumers' needs, wants, which is said, but consumers' needs, wants, satisfaction, everything will be there. Profit, also profit of the company, but you also have to keep it in mind the long-term interest of the society or sustainability of the society. So today's concept of societal marketing talks of not just meeting the needs of the customers, which would lead to profit, but also ensuring that the environment is protected. Environment gets protected. So this is the diagram that we have. If you see this, when today's social marketing, this is a concept that we have today. That's the most prevalent, that company will be earning profits. How? They should take care of the consumers, like their wants, their satisfaction has to be there. That would lead, but also to ensure that their society is protected, not just for now, but also from the long-term perspective. So even the customers have to know they cannot start using things which are harmful to the society, even if the company manufactures it. Say, for instance, what we have was the ban of plastics. Consumers may want it, but they have to think that plastics is harmful for the society. Company also have to think that plastic is harmful for the society. So how would they should come up with substitute products which would solve the customer's needs and will be profitable for the company and also would help in protecting the environment. So this is the concept that we follow today. Okay. So we come to the last topic for today, that is where we are talking of marketing mix. Okay, so marketing mix, it's a business tool. It's a business tool used in marketing today, right? And it's very crucial. It's crucial when we talk of a product, when we talk of product or our brand, and it's a combination of 4 P's, right? What are the 4 P's? Price, product, promotion, and place. So it's basically, when we talk of it, we're talking of having the right product in the right place at the right time and the right price, which would make the customers happy, and you would get more revenue, more recognition, so goodwill increases. Okay, so we'll go more into details of this right now. marketing mix, right? So let's start with product. Okay, so we will start with product. Now, when we talk of product, what is product? Product, when we say, it refers to the goods, not just goods, but also services, which is offered by the organizations for sale. That's what product is. Whatever goods and services the organizations provide for the organization, for the customers. Okay. Now, what happens is, in order to have the right kind of product to the customers, to reach to the customers, there are certain factors, certain criteria which has to be met. That is, what are the needs of the, like, the customers are asking for a particular product or service. So what do they want from that product? What, I mean, what would they want from it? Like, there's, it talks of some specifications, right? How would the customers want to use it? Where will they use it? Like, what are the features that needs to be included which would meet the customer's needs? uh, to check whether any specific features have been missed out, and uh, is the organization like creating some features in that product or service which the customers don't want, or even the name of the product comes up. Name of the product comes up, which has to be catchy. You know, if the name is not catchy, people don't want to buy it. It should attract. Sizes, colors, it matters. So how is it different from the products that is manufactured by the competitors, and how would it look like, right? Now, when we talk of products, what we have today is not just the consumer goods, but also we have industrial goods, and the third is services, right? The next concept that we have is the price. Now, price, what is the price? That is the amount that the consumers are paying for the product or the services, right? The price, now, what will be the price of the product or the service? It has to be competitive. If it's too high, nobody's going to purchase. If it's too low, also people have a wrong notion that the quality of the product is inferior. So it has to be competitive, okay, but not the cheapest. That has to be there. So, and you know, here what happens is, the small competitors are small business holders. Like, how would they compete in the market? They think of the prices, like they have to think of the prices. They cannot charge too high, because they will not be able to compete with it, with the big competitors. But their charge is low, but they bring in some new innovative features, very unique features, which is not there with the big competitors. That's how they survive. Okay, and you know what? This is the only, if we say, the only component in the 4Ps which helps in generating revenue. The others, they are all cost. Okay, right? So what happens, as I said, like, it's quite sensitive in the sense people have an idea, if the price is quite it's high price, that means the quality of the product is very good. So expectation, customers or consumers expectations goes up. So one has to be very careful with this, like when the pricing is being done. Okay, and some of the criteria which has to be kept in mind when we talk about prices, you have to calculate the cost. What is the total cost that is required to produce the product? Like, the product that you are manufacturing, does it meet the expectations of the customers? Only then would they pay the price. If it's meeting the customers, the value that they have, their value, expected value, then they pay for it. Should a small decrease in price lead to more customers? Can you sell more in bulk? That's what we say, economies of scale, reducing the price but selling in bulk, so the profit goes up. Can that be possible? Also, can like the present price of the product, can you keep up with that of the competitors? That's important. The third one that comes up is where we talk of place. Place is where we talk of the location of delivery, right? how you will deliver your products or the services to your customers. So it has to be available at a place where it's convenient for the customers. Customers' conveniency has to be kept in mind. Now, what are the criteria factors that has to be kept in mind is where uh, where would your customers buy? What is the place? Where would they want to buy your product or service? Where which would be available, convenient for them, right? And what kind of stores do your customers go where they would purchase? Accordingly, you will have to decide where you want to sell your things. So, what would be the right kind of distribution channel through which consumers can easily avail your products, right? Uh, and how is it different? How is your distribution channel you different from your competitors, so that it's more effective, right? Now, when you're selling your product, so you need to have a good sales team. Is your sales team strong enough? Are they efficient to do the selling? What about the trade fairs? Do you feel you need to you can attend the trade fairs? Do you think that there's a possibility that you will have more consumers? Online stores, that's also another thing which has to be kept in mind. Okay, the last P that we have is promotion. Now, promotion is where you actually try to sell your products or services through influencing your consumers. Influencing how? Through informing, through advertising. So, through sometimes direct selling, sometimes through personal selling, that has to be done. So, it's a way, it's a way of not just selling but also communicating to your consumers the quality of your product, so which helps in bringing about a good communication system, good and healthy communication system, two-way communication system between your organization and the consumers. Okay, so that is important. So promotion, that helps. Now, what also has to be taken into consideration is when we talk of promotion up here, it's not just informing your consumers what you're doing, but your employees should also be aware of it, about the product, about how you, only when you know the details of the product, the benefits, can you actually start promoting. Why is it important that your employees also get to know? It's important that your employees get to know because your employees are the ones who are dealing with the consumers. If they know about the product, more about the product, if they are given training, if they are given training or made aware of your product benefits, would they be able to actually start convincing the consumers? And that's how the relationship develops. Now, when we talk of promotion, certain factors which need to be taken into consideration is how can you send those messages to your consumers? How would you, these messages are called marketing messages. How will you do it, right? What is the best time to promote your product? There has to be a time. Like if you choose the wrong time, then even if it's a good product, still it can fail. And when we talk of reaching out to consumers, like how will it get, if you put ads in the television, would that be the right thing? Will your consumers actually look into the television for these ads? Social media, do you think that's the right thing? Right. And how would you think that people would be convinced? People, you can reach out to your consumers, target consumers, and they would start buying. And promotional strategy you of your competitors. Promotional strategy of the competitors has to be kept in mind. What are your competitors actually using it? Now, if you see this is from the point of view of the producer or the organization, the company. These 4 Ps, when we talk from the point of view of the consumers, consumers take these 4 Ps as 4 Cs. For them, the product is their customers' needs and wants. So that's a C, customers' needs. They think the customers think it's their needs. When producer is cost for the consumer. What is the cost? Cost of purchasing. That's how they would think. Place. Now, when we talk of place, place for the consumer, for the producer. So they are thinking, the producers think like we're choosing the right place where they can deliver to the consumers, the customers. So for the customers is convenience, which would be the convenient place for collecting or getting these things. When we talk of promotion, that is from the producer's point of view. Promotion is for the consumers, it's communication. Are you being able communicated properly about the product, the service? Do you have the right information? So the 4 P's from the producer's point of view are also from the customer's perspective. And today we talk of 4 C's because we are talking of customers. Okay. Now, initially, when these 4 P's came about, and then the 4 C's, we were talking about only products, consumer goods, industrial goods. Today, we also have services. Now, when services also came into play, along with this 4 P's, there have been 4 additional P's also. So today we have 8 P's. Why? Because we have this service industry coming into play. So along with the 4 P's that we spoke about, product, price, place, promotion. The fifth one that we have today is people. People is where we talk of the skills, the human resources who are actually manufacturing the product. Their skills, their qualities, the way they interact. That has an impact, great impact on the customers, because service industry is not manufacturing. You are actually dealing, you're giving services. You go for when you go from one place to another, you're traveling on flights. The this cabin crew who are there, how effective are they? How's their behavior? How do they interact, talk with people? So it's the quality and skills. That's how that reflects what's is the flight, the particular flight that you're traveling, the company, which is say if it's Drucare or Dashi Airlines, how good is Drucare? That's how we decide when we talk of services, because we do not see any product that we cannot see. It's looking into these factors. The sixth one that comes up is the process. Process, that when we talk of process, that is process not just of manufacturing, that's not the thing, but delivering the service. How effective is your company in delivering the service? On the flights, how effective are the cabin crew? When you want something, you just have to click on a button, which is up there upon your seat, and the light just lights up, and the one of the cabin crew comes to you and asks for you what if what is your query, what do you want, any problems. So how effective are they? Are they coming immediately, or they don't bother about you, or they come and they're rude? So that depends. The seventh one talks of physical evidence. Physical evidence is this is where like when we talk of physical evidence, is like if you are talking of a service is intangible, you cannot see the service, right? But how do you how will you know whether the service that's provided is really good or not? So based on how the service, the nature of service that is being given, you making your judgment about the organization. Making judgment about the organization, that comes up. So only when you start making judgment about the organization would you, that's how do you make judgment? Like when, as I said, like if the service is really good, people are there helping. If you are in need, they're up there, they're cooperative, they're telling you, giving you all the advices, giving you all the instructions. It's up there. Anytime you want anything, they're up there. So what does that talk? That and you say, when you, if you have to, when your tickets are there at the ticketing counter, they are really good. At the front desk, when you enter the airport, they are really helpful. So they're telling you, giving you information well in hand. So that tells you how effective is your organization. So that's how you judge. And the last thing that comes up is partnership. Now, when we talk of partnership, so what happens is this is where we are talking about entering into a business alliance, entering into business alliance that talks about the organization in the sense that the company is really doing good. That's why they are into some alliances. That's why they have gone into, they are entering into some mergers. That's why they have gone and working on projects together, joint venture. That talks about. So partnership does talk about all this. That also talks about the company's performance, how well the company is doing. Small companies which will not do so well, would not even think of going into a partnership. But if there's a big company which is really into service sector, but actually planning going for a joint venture with other business partners, so customers actually think that's how you get to know, okay, the company is really doing good. So this is all that we have from my side for today's class. Now what I'll just open the floor for you for any questions that you have. So any questions? Anyone has any questions? Tell me.
Madam, I didn't
Is there
understand
any question
partnership,
from any?
ma'am.
Which one? Partnership.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Now partnership, what happens is, yeah, partnership, what happens is, now so when especially in the service sector, right? Service sector, we do not see the services. So what happens in that case? How do we know the company is really doing good or company? I mean, how do you create an impact on the consumers? Along with which I said, the people who are there, the process there, the evidence is if I am entering, if I'm my business airlines industry, I have my own airlines and business, and I'm entering into some partnership, some joint venture is happening, big ventures, I'm going with it, in big projects, I'm part of it. So what does that mean? When can you actually go into a venture, joint venture, or an alliance, a merger, or where you can actually go and take over another company? Only when you are really doing good, sometimes better. That's why you are in a position to go up for a bigger venture. That creates a positive impact on the consumer's mind. That this company is really doing well, is in a position really good, well positioned, well placed. That's why is able to take over another company. Is it okay, Pema?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Any other question? Is there anyone with any other question? Do you have any other question? I see no answer. Do you have a question?
No, ma'am.
Madam, I have, ma'am.
Yes, tell me. What is it?
Madam, how can we link the consumer perspective and the producer perspective, ma'am? Producers perspective have a product
Okay,
place and
okay, sure,
promotion and
sure.
all.
Now when from the, say suppose you're the my customer, I'm producing some goods. For me, manufacturing the product. Why am I manufacturing that product? Because I'm manufacturing that product keeping in mind your needs, your satisfaction. So for you, that is your needs. So customer wants, customer needs. Now, price when I charge, it's revenue for me. But what do I also think? Are my customers, are you able to actually afford it? Will you be purchasing it? So for you, that is a cost. So the price for me is a cost. Now, what happens is when we talk of place, I have to ensure that I deliver the product at the right place, which is convenient for you, so that you will purchase, you are happy. So for place, for me, is convenience for you. And the last that comes up is promotion, right? Promotion is to make aware of my product, communicating to you, telling you, informing you that this is a new product, these or the existing product, but these are the additional features that we have. This is how we are much ahead of our competitors. So what's exactly that's for you? Communication. I'm communicating that information. So promotion for me is communication for you. Is it okay, Pama?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Is there any other question from anyone? Is there any other question?
No, ma'am.
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
Uh, okay. If there's no other question from anyone, then what I'll do is I'll just talk to you today about today's class exercise that we have is it is based on the 4 P's. Okay. So you will have, there are 2 questions which is there, and you will have to take up one case where the 4 P's have been a success. So you have to find a case. It's a real case, okay? Not suppose, assume, if, and all those. I'm not going to listen to it. It can be anything, any company or any organization related to in Bhutan or outside. Small organizations also, not personal. It's not friends. It has nothing to do in your family. It has to do with an organization. So take up a case which is there where the company has been successfully implemented the 4 P's. So you have to tell me with taking up each of these 4 P's how it has been successful. That's one question. The second question is just the other thing, that taking up an organization where the organization failed because of not able to implement these 4 P's successfully. So what happened taking up each of these 4 P's where it was the failure. So this is what you have to do. You have to give me an explanation, take up the organization, give me the explanation. What happened to that organization, and give me the explanation with respect to these 4 P's. Okay, so I don't have to write too much, but it's just write what is needed. And this is already posted in the your Google Classroom, the stream page. So after the class, you can actually start working on it. And I'm giving you time till 2 p.m. Everyone needs to submit, and don't tell me now this is not possible, ma'am, can I take extra time? No, it's you have enough time, right? You can do it. Okay. This is one. The next thing, that the last thing that I want to tell you today is about next Wednesday's class. Next Wednesday, please keep it, please listen very carefully. I'm going to finish this chapter. Little bit is there, and that's important. SWOT and STP is important. After I finish the class, what I will be doing is there, I told you there will be a revision test. Like initially my plan was to have the entire syllabus, but what I felt is since we had already done from unit 1 to 5 as a revision test, we had it before, just before the mid-semester review analysis. So after midterm, we had 3 chapters, 6, 7, and 8. This is 8. So I'll give you a revision practice test, or a practice questions, or revision questions based on these 3 chapters. So we finish that chapter, and we will have a revision exercise on all these 3 chapters, and that's also going to be graded, and that's the last activity that we have for this semester. Once you submit on Wednesday, then I'll mark it, and I'll put all the class participation marks for the month of June. Also, I'll put it up for you. You will see it, and the final marks. So whatever the total marks will be, that will be, I'll give you the actual marks, and then I'll also, beside that, there will be one column where the mark, you get the marks out of 20, so it will be converted out of 20 to 20. So that will also be there. So you will get to, by next weekend you will get to know, and that will be the final thing, final CA marks. Okay. Any questions on this? Anyone has any
No,
questions
ma'am.
on this? Okay,
No, ma'am.
so if it's clear, okay, so if it's clear with all of you, you all can actually start going back to the classroom page and start working onto it. And I'll see you tomorrow next week in the same time in the class. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay then. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.